there is no question of religious intolerance in Nigeria. Every Nigerian has a right to worship whoever or whatever they want to worship. That is not the problem of Nigeria. But we have to make that case that we don't have religious intolerance in this country. The truth of the matter is that because of decades of insecurity, a lot of Nigerians have lost hope and trust in their government ability to protect them. That is why, as you said earlier, you hear Nigerians calling on foreign nations to come and protect them. You saw what happened during the other protests in Kano, where young people were carrying flags of foreign nations and calling on those countries to come and intervene. That is because there is a trust gap and lack of confidence that the public has in their government. So, direct to the question that you asked, all these factors are playing out. You looked at the issue of the comment that was made by the Vice President at the United Nations. You look at what people are telling Trump and Ted Cruz in Texas about how Nigeria has a Muslim president and vice president, which is a deviation from tradition. And you look at the embargo that you're talking about. Donald Trump is a transactional president. Like the Prof pointed out earlier, he does not engage in anything that does not bring benefit to America. And so he is looking at all this range of issues and making the determination. Unfortunately, because of the failure of the several administrations in this country to rein in insecurity, and I lay the blame mostly on President Muhammad Buhari, because I was one of those who supported him on the basis that as a former military leader, he could rein in insecurity in Nigeria. And as a matter of fact, in his maiden address to the nation the day he assumed office, he categorically stated that we cannot say that we have defeated Boko Haram when you have some Chibok girls that are still being held hostage. It's unfortunate that the former president completed his 8 years, passed away, and we still have some hostages being held captive by Boko Haram. And so all these things are the things that we need to consider. Let's not assume that America doesn't know what is happening in Nigeria. They know exactly what is happening in Nigeria. They are hearing from Nigerians. But the president started off correctly, like I said. And I also read the statement that was issued by the former Chief of Army Staff, Borotai. This is a very dangerous time in international politics. Most of the international laws that used to take hold in foreign relations are no longer holding because powerful nations are going against those laws. And so we need to take cognizance of that. And before we take, as we take the steps that we are taking, we shouldn't make argument based. That's why I said, we don't have to look at international law when we make our case. If we go there and start debating international law with Donald Trump, it's going to backfire. We need to go there and tell Donald Trump, look, the only reason why Donald Trump invoked genocide is because he wants to lay a premise for him to be able to come into Nigeria. It's the same card he played with South Africa, and that is the card that he's playing in Nigeria here. And that is why he's saying Islamic terrorist organizations are killing Christians. He had to make sure that he put that Islamic before the terrorists to establish that you have Muslims that are killing Christians to get a justification for whatever action that the Americans want to take.